Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. I need to have a catchphrase, guys. You decide. Everyone needs a catchphrase at the start of their videos, okay? So my catchphrase is going to be decided by you. The most upvoted comment on this video will be my new catchphrase forever, as long as it's not racist or otherwise not appropriate, okay? The most appropriate upvoted comment is going to be my new catchphrase, okay? So I'll leave it to you guys to decide. And every video until I can physically no longer stand doing it will start with this new catchphrase. And you guys get to decide that. So that's on you. You're about to shape the very future of my channel. Also, thanks to G2A for sponsoring the channel. There is a reference link in the description below. They have renewed with me for another year, despite me being the world's worst content creator. G2A continue to decide to sponsor my channel because they are just straight up baller guys and girls, and I really appreciate them. So thank you so much. I will eventually show you how to go through G2A and purchase something. I'll probably purchase a game myself that I want, and you guys can see how it's done. Just to show you how it works, if you're ever interested. Mostly for PC games. So there we go. Right. So this is patch 3.2a. So this is coming out, I believe, today. I'm officially not supposed to have these notes. See, if you ask where I got these notes from, I ain't going to tell you. Secret. Under the hood dealings. Because apparently there have been so many leaks recently, especially in China. Notes have been tight ship. So someone got hold of these and we begged left, right, and center to have access to them, and now we do. So thank unnamed benefactor for sending us these notes. Right, so we're going to get some changes to Elemental Rift. I don't know how much you guys have played of this. I quite like it. Let's have a look at some of the changes. Slaying dragons will now grant you points towards getting a dragon soul. The first team to reach 3 points will obtain the dragon soul. The first 2 dragons will be worth 1 point each. After the first 2 dragons are slain, the following dragons that spawn will be worth 2 points instead of 1. So if you're a team that's dominating the dragons, you still need 3. If it's 1 dragon apiece, it's the next dragon gets the soul. We've also made some other adjustments to Elder Dragon. The terrain will now change after the second dragon is slain. Elder Dragon will spawn after a team has claimed the dragon's soul. I do think that my feedback on the last test was that Elder Dragon just spawned way too late into the game and felt like loads of games never even got to the point where Elder Dragon was relevant. So I'm glad it's kind of being brought a little bit earlier into the game again. AR Earth is coming. Great. And we're about to get some new skins. That kind of looks like Graves, right? But I'm pretty sure it's Pantheon. We are getting Pulsefire. Oh, Pulsefire skins are coming. Pantheon, Shen, and Lucian. We're getting Cosmic Blade, Master Yi, and Cosmic Enchantress Lulu. And loads of other things. Join the Fluff, Noxus. Join the Fluffed Noxus. And there's a Cosmic event. And Pride event. Which it won't be called Pride in every region, I believe. But it'll be Pride, or it'll be the celebration of color, or something like that, I guess. Right. I think there was some kind of semi-leaks on what changes were coming for this patch. So if any of you have been aware of the leaks, you'll kind of know. But yeah, these are the changes, and let's go through them in a bit more detail. Okay, so Ali has been struggling. He's actually been pretty good in my opinion, but that's kind of like high-level play, like really good Alistars. I think in general, Ali's been pretty strong. We're going to be buffing his self-heal a little bit across the board, a little bit more in the late game. And the heal that it provides for allied champions is actually going up quite a decent amount in the late game. Like 320 heal in the late game is pretty sick. Cooldown reduced per, I guess, crowd control is also coming down. So that's really sick, actually. Like he's gonna get some really, really good boosts to healing in the later stages of the game. Like 70 is a decent amount of extra healing to have. Like it can mean the difference between life and death. And he's also getting a headbutt cooldown to help him apply crowd control a little bit more effectively. It's very interesting changes. These are some changes that kind of affect a part of Ali's kit that haven't really been looked at before, which is the sustain that he provides, which is very limited, but is there. very interesting to see how that plays out, because I think in the enchanter-dominated meta, this is something that Alistars will struggle with. If you can't find windows to engage, you get bullied out of lane really easily as an Alistar. So you have to be, you have to be really kind of like finding those absolutely prime moments to look for the engagers. But I think Ali was already in a decent place in the meta, in my personal opinion anyway. I think that Ali was okay, right? When you get Proto Belt enchant, that suddenly gives you all these options to find the engagers versus these ranged compositions. And I think ultimately I felt Ali was okay. This just makes Ali a little better. Whether it's enough to upend the enchanter meta that we've got right now, I'm not sure. But I've always considered Ali right now like an S-ish tier support. So maybe this is going to help out, especially at the lower levels as well. Camille has been one of the strongest and most prevalent Baron lane picks. That's absolutely correct. I put Camille in S+ tier in my tier list that I didn't release because I forgot that patch was coming out today and was going to release it today, but I can't really, just didn't. So we're lowering the trading potential that she has at the early stages of the game, whilst also removing an interaction that has the most precise Camille players have been able to use to their advantage. Camille will no longer be able to use the stasis enchant after using her ultimate to lock down any foe without putting herself in danger. Precision Protocol, true damage ratio. It's coming down, way down in the early game, but obviously scales up. Now, Precision Protocol is generally the, at levels 1, 5, wait a second, at levels 1, 5, 9, and 13. So, are they making it that Precision Protocol scales with your ultimate levels? I suppose that's the case, rather than just saying when you level up the ability, because if so, that's a massive nerf. If it was just nerfing it when you level up the ability, then do you know what, we get precision, we kind of max Precision Protocol anyway, right? But now they're saying it scales with levels, which I think is pretty insane. Actually, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, significant changes to the true damage ratio in the early game for sure. That's a big hit for Camille, in my opinion. And the movement speed's also coming down by 10% at each rank, which is pretty beefy movement speed nerf. And Hextech Ultimatum causes the ultimate effects to end. Yeah, I mean that definitely. Yeah, I guess so. If you can cancel it being cast on you with stasis, you should be able to. It should cancel when you use stasis yourself. Camille's would engage the fight, Hextech Ultimatum a key target, then stasis while they kind of attempted to take a load of damage. This massively impacts Camille's team fighting capabilities and is going to make her slightly weaker in the laning phase. And with the movement speed nerf, going to impact her team fighting as well. So this is definitely, I think this is going to knock Camille down, definitely, from a good pick in the Baron lane. She's probably going to be a decent pick, but yeah, ultimately these are some big changes. These are some big changes to Camille, if I'm honest with you. Ekko. Yeah, he has been a bit underperforming in my opinion. So we're going to buff him a lot. He's going to get 40 base health. They love that 40 base health. He's getting extra base armor, which is going to help him in the jungle. Extra base mana, which is really nice. And also his Time Winder is going to deal extra damage to monsters, which is going to help his jungle clear speed. His Parallel Convergence, passive base missing health magic damage, is pretty sick, so he's going to get a buff on that to deal more damage to lower HP targets. And the phase dive AP ratio is going up, which is going to be really nice with this Lichbane build that you see him run. Obviously, you build Ekko very much like Evelyn. So I think Ekko's getting some really serious buffs here. He was kind of a mid A tier jungler, I would say. This is going to be some pretty significant changes that might make him, borderline really good. Like we're talking like AS maybe. That's the way I'd see these changes. There are some big damage buffs, and he's getting a lot of sustain help in the jungle, which is really nice, especially with the blue buff changes. This sustain, anything that helps keep junglers sustained in the jungle is going to make them better overall, in my opinion. So this is an interesting one. Fiora changes. Fiora did get, I actually think those lunge nerfs did make Fiora less viable, even in jungle and in Baron lane. Which I ultimately think is good. Like, I don't think a pick like Fiora should just be like the best blind pick possible, because she's a really obnoxious champion in general to have to play against if she's ahead. Fiora should be, in my eyes, one of those champions that has certain really good matchups that you want to use or fit certain compositions. But yeah, the lunge nerfs really did hurt her. So she's going to get some base health increase, and the damage on lunge is going up. So it's going to reward you slightly more for hitting lunge. And also, she won't get punished as hard if she does miss or get into a bad trade in the Baron lane. I'm not sure 10 base damage on lunge is going to suddenly change the game for Fiora here. She's okay. Like, she's not bad in the Baron lane. She's just not, like, S+ tier, great blind pick in all scenarios. Which, you know, ultimately, if they need to do a bit more tweaks just to get her slightly more balanced in that sense, I think that's fine. Gragas is kind of OP. And as a big Gragas enjoyer, I will tell you that's definitely the case. They are slowing down how quickly his ultimate travels by about 30%. Yeah, so he's going to get a 30% increase in travel time on his, or 33%, 0.3% recurring, of course, increase on his travel time on his ultimate. So more time to react, basically. You've got a little bit more time to react to Gragas' ultimate being thrown, so that people who are able to flash out of it can do so a little bit more effectively. And also even gives you a slight split second to walk out of it a bit more effectively. Still think AP Gragas is going to be really good, though. So there's my take. Sorry. Graves is currently one of the most dominant junglers. Is he? He's good. I'm not sure I'd call him one of the most dominant junglers. I mean, look, maybe, Riot have win rate data, right? They have the pure global win rate data for these champions. Like, more so that, because they don't have a public API, like no website can ever like 100% accurately represent the data that Riot's got. By the way, Riot, please make a public API. It would just make content for certain things so much better. Public API. I know you don't want it because you think it's going to shape the meta too much. I know the biggest thoughts about having public API was that they don't want things like op.gg to have a similar service that will just completely shape the meta. But oh my god, it would just make content so nice having a public API. Anyway, end of the line, damage to monsters down by 30%. Yeah, it is what it is. I don't think it's going to suddenly knock Graves out of existence. Aurelia has been overperforming in the jungle, especially with lethal tempo. Ionian further damage to monsters, which is her passive, is going down. Fair enough, but I still think lethal tempo Aurelia is going to be insane. So it's probably not going to affect it lethal like Aurelia in like mid lane, but lethal tempo Aurelia is still really good. Nunu consume cooldown's going down by 1 second. Who cares? I mean, I do care. It's a small change. It's not going to suddenly shift Nunu into. It's not going to change where Nunu is at all, in my opinion. But it's a nice quality of life change for Nunu players. Yeah, Olaf is really good. I'll be frank with you. It's definitely not because of his undertow. It's because of his reckless swing, which is AoE true damage, which is just bonkers. But it's a small base damage nerf to undertow. Look, I level this second, sometimes level this third, depends on the situation. I'm not that bothered about these changes, if I'm honest with you. Undertow is almost always for the utility. I know we've got a 5% slow getting knocked off here, but you've got Nimbus Cloak on Olaf now, which makes up for a lot of these problems. And yeah, Reckless Swing is the problem with Olaf. So yeah, I still think Olaf's going to be good. We're still really good, honestly. Renekton has been kind of sucking. He's going to get base health regeneration going up, and the Dominus damage per second is going up by a significant amount in the late game. So 30 per second in the late game is, like, over the course of the duration of his ultimate, that's a lot of damage. This is pretty cool. I think this is going to make Renekton feel a little bit more valuable in the late game, especially. So I like these changes a lot. Whether they'll make Renekton super viable again, I don't know. I still think he gets outclassed a little bit in the Baron lane right now, but the 30 damage per second in the late game is a really nice change, and I like it a lot. Veigar, he does kind of suck, so let's see what they're doing to make him suck less. Second cooldown, which is nice because he stacks up a little bit more quickly, and Event Horizon crowd control duration is going up by a small amount at every rank. Didn't they nerf this? I don't remember if they nerfed this or not, but anyway, regardless. The realistic thing about Veigar is that he just takes too long to come online. I think the way that you address this is maybe giving Veigar more AP per stack on Baleful Strike. It just takes too long for him to get some meaningful damage out of it, or meaningful damage out of it. So it just you know, when you need a Vigard to be relevant at like minute 4 or minute 5 now, minute 8, minute 9, he's just not relevant, and that's the problem. Ziggs is getting another explosive minefield gutting because they think that he has too much control. It went from 10 seconds to 7 seconds to 5 seconds. 5 seconds feels like a healthy amount for minefield. I've always felt that ability lasted way too long. When the cooldown's going up by 2 seconds. Look, Ziggs is okay in the meta. He hasn't been like super prevalent, super powerful. He's like not exactly being seen in every single game these days. But you know, I think explosive minefield was pretty obnoxious, if I'm honest with you. So I think these are some good changes because no one likes Ziggs who puts that out at the entrance to a dragon pit and you just can't walk there for like 7 seconds or you lose half your HP. That sucked. So I kind of agree. So Frozen Heart, probably Wildrift's most irrelevant item. Although with Lethal Tempo, it feels like it's an item that's getting a little bit undervalued right now because attack speed carries and attack speed champions in general are being played a lot. Ability haste going up and the total cost is coming down. It's you know, like I said, this is an item that I might pick up versus Jax's or Vayne's or any kind of attack speed carry like later into the game. It's just not a super high value pick like super early on, but hey, I think it has some value, you know. Sorry, it's nearly. I mean, I've got to have this published in like less than an hour. We want to adjust the item to make Iceborne Gauntlet more attractive. The mana is coming down, so becoming less attractive to people like Ezreal. But you're getting some health out of it, so you're going to get some health out of it, which might mean it's a little bit more widely applicable in like the Baron lane, for instance. Spellblade, you're going to get... Oh, you're going to get plus bonus armor damage. Very interesting. The cost is going up. You're going to have a Kindle gem associated with it. That's interesting. That is interesting. Got to theory craft some people that can use this. Like I would even like I'm even half tempted to think about having this on a Garen, for instance. You know, I know you don't make use of the mana, but like, you get the health, and if you're going armor Garen, like imagine bonking someone on the head with this for like a huge amount of damage. Seems like an interesting change. Very, very much think this could be an item that gets a little bit more value. Let's noodle on this one, guys. I think this change here specifically is the big one, and it might mean that this becomes a bit more effective. Apparently Conqueror is too good, and so they're nerfing it again, even though Lethal Tempo is like the #1 rune for AD carries. Kraken Slayer sucks though, for some reason. Kraken Slayer just is really bad, and Lethal Tempo is too good. I don't know if I agree with this, honestly. But there we go. Nimbus Cloak isn't good. Are you joking me? I look, maybe I just don't have the data here, but like I swear, like almost everyone's going Nimbus Cloak. I swear, like loads of people are going Nimbus Cloak. There we go. We've added this Stealthy Kingu to the jungle category. Okay, well that's it. That's everything. Not sure I'm overwhelmed with these rune changes. Look, you know, ultimately Conqueror is still a very popular AP choice in the mid lane for a lot of like Orianas, for instance, etc. But you know, I think that Lethal Tempo is like massively outperforming Conqueror in the current crop of AD carries. And you know, they're just, I guess Conqueror is still just the de facto rune for AD champions that just can't make use of attack speed. I mean, Kraken Slayer just kind of sucks. So, you know, there we go. Hey, that's the end of the patch notes. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you soon.